What if Rome never fell? In our own timeline, the Roman Empire, which was founded in 27 BCE by Octavian, better known as Caesar Augustus, was the greatest power in the ancient world. But after it got permanently split into East and West by Theodosius I, the western half collapsed. The East, though gradually declining, would last until 1204, when Constantinople was sacked by the Crusaders, or in 1453 when Constantinople was sacked by the Ottoman Empire. The legacy of Rome can still be felt, as it is the most influential empire in Western history, and many empires would pretend to be Rome up to 1943. But what if that didn't happen? What if Rome never fell? In this timeline, the Germanic tribes failed to take Gaul, Hispania, Britannia, North Africa, or Italia, and the West stays strong and united. The East would also do well, but after years of fighting Sassanid Persia, the Eastern Roman Empire and Sassanid Empire would be exhausted just in time for the Arab caliphates. The Rashidun Caliphate would conquer Persia, the Levant, and Egypt, leaving the Eastern Roman Empire only with Anatolia and the southern Balkan. The Slavs would then conquer the areas of modern-day Serbia, Macedonia, Albania, and northern Greece. The Eastern Empire would be at its weakest, but the West thrives, except for the fact that the Vikings pillaged the countryside. One of these invasions would be the Great Heathen Army, who would conquer Britannia and form the Danelaw. Later they even conquer Caledonia and Ireland. They would join the Kalmar Union and would become Christian, but later leave like Sweden, but probably earlier. Nowadays Britannian is a Britanno-Danish kingdom in the British Isles. The Germanic tribes like the Goths, Vandals, or Franks still exist, but in Germania, and it was there where Charles, tribal leader of the Franks, would conquer the other tribes and form the Kingdom of Germany. The Eastern Roman Empire would gradually rise back to power and reconquer the Balkans, for example under Basil II. Disaster, however, would strike again as the Seljuk Turks conquered Anatolia and the Eastern Roman Empire, now in modern-day Greece, Albania, Bulgaria, Macedonia, and Thrace, would ask the West to incorporate them in order to survive. The Roman Empire may stumble upon the New World, and would set up colonies in the Brazilian coastline and Caribbean for plantations. They probably would make an alliance with the Congo Kingdom, like Portugal did in our own timeline, making a transatlantic triangle. The Mongol Empire would still rise, and their extent would end at Anatolia, from which they spread the plague. Asia in this timeline is for the most part like in our own timeline. In 1299 the Ottoman Empire is still founded, and they expand into Anatolia, but the Balkans is unlikely, as they would have to face the might of Rome itself. And since they aren't as powerful, they probably can't take down Persia and the Mamluk Sultanate, meaning there is a balance of power between these three empires. In Northern Europe, Sweden would still become a great power, but that would quickly end due to the Great Northern War, which would pave the road for the rise of Russia. By now the three main powers in Europe are Rome, Germany and Russia, and a war would break out in 1772. Russia under Catherine II and Germany under Ludwig XVI would invade the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth, triggering Rome to declare war on them. Sweden would also join on the side of Rome, while Denmark, Norway, and the Ottoman Sultanate would join the war against them. In the end, Rome lost. Its holdings in the Balkans become part of the Ottoman Empire, while Germany and Russia partition Poland, Lithuania. Sweden lost Finland to Russia, and Scania, Bohuslän, and Jutland go to Denmark, Norway. Furthermore, a Baber state was established in North Africa. Rome also lost its colonies in the New World, who declared their independence. After the war, the current ruling dynasty was overthrown by the House of Allobroge, with Victor Amadeus becoming emperor. It was around this time that the empire starts to liberalize. In fact, the emperor is just a constitutional monarch. In 1812, a conflict between the German Empire and Russian Empire starts, and the Roman Empire joins as a third force. The Ottoman Empire also invades Russia and lands in Crimea. The Roman Empire shows that it is still a great power by defeating its rivals. Germany was split between the Kingdom of Bavaria, Hanover, Brandenburg, and Bohemia, while Poland, Lithuania, which was re-established, got lands east of the Oder River. Russia didn't just lose its gains from the previous war, but Poland also got back the lands they lost in 1667. Furthermore, the Ottoman Empire puppets the Khanate of Crimea. Finland became its own nation. After it gained a lot of power in the previous two wars, the Ottoman Empire would conquer Mesopotamia from Syria, and the Mamluk Sultanate, after which they would become the Caliphate. The Xinhai Revolution wouldn't take place, as without any republics existing it is unlikely that they would become one, and the Qing dynasty would preserve up to this date. The Roman Empire may start to have colonies in Asia and Africa, and it is possible that a conflict with Japan in the 1940s still happens. Russia would join the side of Japan starting the Third World War. Rome and China would defeat their rivals, and Rome would puppet the Grand Duchy of Moscovia. But they only control the West, while the rest collapses into warlord states. China annexes Outer Manchuria and parts of Central Asia. Japan, on the other hand, would lose its empire and fall in the sphere of the Qing dynasty. In Rome, it is possible that after the war a revolution may happen that would either establish the First Republic under Alcide de Gasperi, the first communist state under Palmiro Togliatti, or a military junta under Mario Rota. After the war, a Cold War between Rome and China over the supremacy over the world would start. Currently, the empire is one of the greatest powers out there, despite of not being as powerful as it used to be. It is the beacon of Western civilization and is influential as Latin is, with 880 million native speakers, the second most spoken language only behind Mandarin with 929 million native speakers. In this timeline, Western Europe is united and the world basically revolves around this empire. If you liked the episode, leave a like, and don't forget to subscribe. Goodbye.